Let's wildly speculate on a new core set for Marvel Champions for a little bit. So, what do you all think could show up in a new Marvel Champions core? I'm thinking we'll probably get 4 to 5 heroes. I guess what would you start with there? I think probably 5, just to kind of keep the same feel as the original core set, where you had 5 heroes in the original core set. And if we could choose any heroes, I've heard a lot of speculation around Fantastic Four, which I think would be a lot of fun. But my feeling is that they're going to go with a more diverse hero pool than just Fantastic Four, because they want to try and grab as many people as possible to bring somebody into the game. So if there's somebody out there who is interested in the game but they don't like F4, they've lost that customer. So my thought is that we would see something with a more diverse hero pool, which could include Fantastic Four. We got BG, Droodles, Cap, Hulk, Kate Bishop, Iron Fist, Elektra. Daredevil will be his own pack. I do agree with that. I think Daredevil will be his own pack. Though, I think, like, we have Captain America in that suggestion. I think we could see some big names in this core. Hero variety, not Fantastic Four. That's where I'm leaning to. They go and see who is the most popular in Marvel Rivals. Nice. Out of print heroes would make sense. Hulk, all of that. It'll be F4 with some other heroes following. There's a little bit of a story element between F4 and Defenders, right? So I could see maybe a hybrid wave of Fantastic Four and Defenders, or am I misremembering that? We need Jeff. I wonder if they would redo the original 5. I think that they would. I think that they would switch it up. I believe that they would switch it up, and I would not be shocked if we don't see anybody from the original core in 2.0. I think. My guess is we would see Cap. I think Captain America is a really strong thought of who would be in there, mainly because he's out of print. Everyone loves Captain America. He's going to sell the box. You still think the heroes the redo of heroes is still a year or two out, and I think that this core set could be a year out. I don't think it's 2 years out. My guess is that it's a year out. Could get Blade as a surprise. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, I think Captain America. And I do think that they would have an equal distribution of genders in the box. So Captain America would take up a male slot. I think we would get. I could see Invisible Woman. I think I could see them do an Avengers F4 split. Do you think we'll ever get a multiverse mechanic? We do with Loki. I think the new core set will be this spring. That early, you think so? That would be cool. Captain America with the shield trait. Now that's interesting. I like that a lot. So, okay, yeah. If we go Captain America with shield, could you have shield and Avenger? Or would that be too strong? Spider-Man with Web Warrior. Yes. Yes. Spider-Man with Web Warrior. I could see Hulk. I think Hulk would be interesting. Yeah, I feel like the more that I think about it, the more I think Hulk may be in that box. Everyone wants a reprint of Hulk. Yeah, they I think that they need to do a redo of Hulk. There's a lot of heroes that could use a revamp, but I think Hulk is absolutely one of those. So if they do Hulk in the box, and I do think that we will see some redos and some new in the box, just because that's how they did it with Arkham, and so that's the only thing I'm going off of. But that, I feel like that's a fairly safe assumption. So if they go Hulk, Captain America, and Spider-Man, those feel like too large of names. I feel like we would need small, like, that's a lot. So I think maybe Jane Foster. Well, that's a female, but those 3 male, those would sell their own hero pack, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I don't think that they would put all 3 of those in the box, but I could see some of them. I feel like Spider-Man, because he was in the original core, would go hero pack this time around. So if we went Captain America, Hulk, Jane Foster, Thor, Spider-Man as a hero pack with Web Warrior, but I do really like the idea of switching up the traits. I think that's a lot of fun. Hulk redo. They could also add Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk, A-Bomb, or Brawn as Gamma heroes. Do we think we're gonna go obscure in this core, or do you think we'll stick with well-known heroes? I would think that we would stick with well-known heroes. Like in the original core, probably the least known hero would be She-Hulk, right? Cloak and Dagger would be sick. Oh gosh, that'd be so cool. 2 male, 1 female big gun, and 2 more sideline heroes. What do we think the female big gun could be? Three known, 2 lesser known. Emma Frost. Does anyone have any idea on if they are able to print X-Men heroes at this point? Because I was under the assumption that they couldn't. But with them letting like Mutant Genesis go out of print, it makes me feel like we are going to get more X-Men heroes. And if could you rainbow the traits? That would be interesting. So you don't have any of them that share traits. You go Captain America Shield, you go X-Men, Web Warrior, X Factor, and Avenger, or something like that. Love to see more X-Men. I guess it'd be easier to print now. Yeah. Black Cat or Invisible Moon. I feel like F4. I think F4 could be this box though, or like part of it. They have the Emma license, but I don't know if they can put an X-Men license together with other heroes. It'd be great if Cap used a linked version of his shit. That'd be cool. Angela would be fun to get some Asgard support. We had Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil. Yeah, I feel like there's a Defender box on the horizon as well. Mantis to make more Guardians. Yeah, at this point, now I'm getting excited. I think we could rainbow this thing. I think we could rainbow this thing in terms of traits. Go Guardian, Avenger, X-Men, Shield, and Web Warrior. And have those 5. It leaves out the mutants, because not 100% sure if we are able to print those. Ghost Rider would be really cool. But if you have those 5, Mantis was an Avenger before a Guardian. I associate her with Guardian. So my guess is that they would print her as Guardian, because I represent this population that doesn't know anything about heroes, and so I just go with like the MCU. Or they could open Defenders. I feel like if they're going to add a trait, they would add it. I don't think we're going to see new traits in this box, in a core box. That'd be weird. Maybe not weird. Captain America, Beast, Hulk, Mantis, and Jocasta would be sick. I really like that. That would be a really fun matchup. Yeah. Focus on aspect provides more support. Staying focused on like one aspect out of the 4? Or what do you mean by that, Trap It? Mantis Ally. Yeah, Mantis Ally has the Guardian trait, so I could see them doing them. Mantis could be the first like effective healer. Oh. We don't have like any healers in Champions. Sorry, Trey. Oh, I got you. Yeah. We don't have any like effective healers in Champions. So it'd be really cool to see like a healer character in Mantis. I would love that. Traits are probably the biggest reason for redos. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, I like the idea of the rainbow. So, Shield, I could see Captain America. I feel like Captain America, Shield, build out some Shield stuff. I like Mantis as the Guardian. We get... I think we go Hulk as the Avenger. More Mystic. That would be crazy. That would be a lot of fun. Hulk as the Avenger. We go. No, I could see. Okay, Jane Foster as Avenger, Spider-Man as Web Warrior. I don't think you would get Hulk, Cap, and Spider-Man in one box. That would. I feel like they would leave money on the table at that point. Quake for Shield instead of Cap. It's a boring answer, but I think we'll mostly keep the same characters, the same, just with new versions. I gotcha, yeah. Jocasta for Android. Jocasta also Avenger. Mantis for Guardian. Yeah, I really like the idea of Mantis for Guardian. I really want to see what a playable Mantis hero would be, and I really hope it would be healing. Hero Loki. Oh, a Hero Loki for Asgard would be fun. What was the trait that I'm missing? We got Web Warrior. We don't have an Avenger. I could see Jocasta. Jocasta would be an Android Avenger type thing. Do we think Sinister Motives redo or a different Spider-Man redo or a different Spider? I see SM and I think Sinister Motives. I think if they reprint Peter, they're gonna get a lot of money. Would be my guess. Madam Web, that would be cool. Yeah. Iron Man as a Guardian. Jocasta will get some more pull after Vision Quest comes out. I don't think I quite understand that. Also, my light behind me, I'm realizing, is going insane. I think it's been doing that for a while. I need to replace that rope light. I think it's just dying. Okay. Mantis as Guardian, Cap as Shield, Jocasta as Avenger, Spider-Man as Web Warrior, Jane Foster as Thor, Asgard. I think that could be really fun. I think that could be a lot of fun if they rainbow that, they give support to all the old stuff, and then they kind of have a wave or two where they're focusing on not just one trait, but multiple traits like we saw with the Mad Titan Shadow Wave, where we're seeing Avenger Guardian supports. So we could start seeing that as well, and then lean more into like the Gamma stuff. Oh, they cast Jocasta in the upcoming Vision show. Sick. Nice. Namor would be dope. There's so many cool heroes out there. I think I'm going to probably post this as a video on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, drop your top 5 heroes in the comments, because I am curious where we would go, or what y'all think for if we get 5 heroes in a new core. Cap, Shield, Mighty Thor. Who is Mighty Thor? Is Mighty Thor Jane Foster? Spider-Man, Web Warrior, Mantis. If they do have X-Men, we would see X-Men in it. If they do have the license to print X-Men, I think Beast would be so sick. I would love Beast in there. Hulk, Spider-Man, Cap are always big sellers for hero packs. That's true. I do think that they have to put some big names in it, because this is going to be a new entry point for a lot of players. And so I would assume that they would want big names in the box to grab people's attention. Maybe not all of them. Like, you're probably not going to see Captain America, Hulk, and Spider-Man all in one box. But I could see 2 of those 3 and then drop a hero pack just to kind of like get the big names. And you're like, oh, but I also want Spider-Man. And then you buy and then you're in it. What about villains? Oh, yeah. Let's talk villains. Mighty Thor is Jane Foster. Sick. Okay. Villains. Beast was an Avenger a very long time ago. I'm okay with loopholes. I like loopholes. What about villains in the box? What do we think it could be villains? My guess is that it would be similar to what we got in the original core, where they're like loosely, not really even tied together, but do you think it'll be a campaign? I think it'll be... No, I don't think it will be a campaign. Kingpin. I agree with Droodles. I would love to see Kingpin in that box, but I would be shocked if they didn't use Kingpin as a standalone box. Doc Ock. That's a good one. That's right. That's the vibe right there. I feel like a Doc Ock would be a really good, well-known villain to pull people in. We have the Spider box, or it's out of print, but we don't have a villain. I feel like Doc Ock's a solid lock. That's a gold one right there. Yes. beautiful. Scorpion, we could see just like a lot of like web or like spider villains. One villain for each hero. That seems like a lot. My guess is that we would keep it to 3 and 5 just to maintain the card count, keep it down so that they could keep the cost. My guess is going to be $70 like the Arkham box, which is silly. Ugh. Things have gotten so expensive. But if they go with 5 villains, 5 heroes, and the cards, I think we'd probably be pushing 100 at that point, and I don't think that they would want to do that. Venom replacing Spider-Man as a hero. I could see it. I could see it. Mandarin or Abomination? What is Abomination from? Why am I drawing a blank on Abomination? Isn't he is a he's a nemesis somewhere, right? Mandarin. I really like Doc Ock. I think Doc Ock is very solid. Go work for their marketing team. Hulk as a villain. That'd be kind of fun. Oh, Hulk's nemesis. Got it. Okay, yeah. Yep, okay. I could see, yeah, that'd be fun. Carnage or Kroll. Hulk nemesis. Yeah. I gotcha. So it took me a second. I've only had one coffee, so it's going to take me a while to catch up. Not Hulk. Abomination. I'm still stuck on Doc Ock. I still think that that's amazing. Mandarin is the biggest enemy of Iron Man. Okay. I could see Mandarin. Who are some of the MCU villains that we haven't seen? We've seen the Thanos. We've seen Loki. What about like Whiplash? I mean, like, he's not super. Just going through the movies in my mind. Doc Ock, Malekath, Carnage. That'd be sick. Malekath, we haven't seen. I feel like, yeah, that could be a good one to jump in, especially if we are getting like Mighty Thor or Jane in the box. I like how like at this point I'm just assuming that we're correct, and it's like this is the box, and so this is what they're going to be pairing them with. But if we are rainbowing, I could see them kind of rainbow the villains as well. What's the leader? I don't know. Killmonger. I could see that. Kingpin would be really solid. Whiplash, Ego, The Living Planet. Yeah, Ironmonger. Popular villain who present a challenge. What if the core set had Doom? The next wave has the F4 heroes. I feel like I would love it. Honestly, I would love it. My hesitation is just that I feel like Doom would sell his own box. Yeah, I need to drink. I'm talking a lot. What do you mean by rainbowing? Yeah, sorry. Rainbowing is how I'm describing if they don't. None of the heroes in the box share a trait. So they 5 heroes with 5 different traits. I just consider that, like, I don't know why I call that rainbowing. But if they did that, where if they rainbow the villains, or the heroes, where you get like a Web Warrior Guardian, Avenger, Shield, and X-Men or something else, then like you'd probably see a less cohesive villain group set as well. Killmonger would be cool. Nobody. It would be. I think. Yeah. I think I feel like F4 is coming. I would be really surprised if they did F4 as the new core box. Because, yeah, I would just be surprised. But I've been surprised a lot before. But here are Bullseye. What is Bullseye from? Yeah, I think my gut reaction is that it's not going to be F4. The Hand. Bullseye would be in the Defender's box. Bullseye is okay. Daredevil villain. Perfect core. 5 heroes, F4, and Surfer. It would make a lot of. I could see it. I could see it. It very well could happen. I I am not, and there's a like I feel like yeah, I feel like I wouldn't run F4 as the new core. I would run it as its own box. F4 doesn't have the recognition of Spidey, Cap. That's kind of where I'm leaning, yeah. I could see people being upset about not having all of them. I so a deluxe expansion is similar to, is that what they called Civil War? They just called it a custom scenario expansion, so maybe not the same. Brute Rhino, like a Minion Swarm villain in Ultron. I could see that because you do want to diversify the villain types that you would be fighting if it is a core set. You want to have a lot of everything just to kind of give people a taste for the game to see what they want to be buying in the future. I I don't I think Trap It, I think F4 doesn't have the recognition that it used to since MCU. I feel like MCU has changed what is known to people. The wider audience, F4 just doesn't have the same appeal, at least not yet. First Steps and Doomsday will help. Yeah. Doc Ock, Whirlwind would be cool. An Abomination as a brute. If Doc Ock's not in this box, I'm gonna feel so sad. I feel like we've just crushed that. Who initially suggested Doc Ock? That was a sick call. I'm so happy about that. Rainbow box with each having basic allies. Train. Oh yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. I'm just like, I just want so much more information. Ever since they dropped the Arkham announcement, I'm just like, I want more. I want more. As also, um, when we last talked about this on stream, we did not, or I missed the fact because they said it on stream, but not in the article, at least that I saw, that the old Arkham box is going out of print. They said in the initial live stream, and I don't know what they said about the Arkham box in that stream, but they said that the Champions box is going to be an evergreen product, meaning that it's going to be printed forever. I thought that's what they said about Arkham too, and they very well could have changed their mind. But if Arkham is going out of print as well, I could see them going back and changing how they plan on doing this. FOGS hires as brainstormers. Someone made a homebrew Doc Ock. Just felt to reimagine Blacktop Cassidy. That was years ago. The Avengers were B tier heroes until the MCU. People do know the F4. They just don't sell the way the others do. That's fair. Dude, my light behind me is going crazy. Oh, nice. That was a fun. Yeah, that was fun. I like wild speculation.